Abby, should we kick it off with a brief, how do you usually host your events? This is my first time joining.
So usually it's just like this. I'm always just like, I log in and just see who shows up. So
That's awesome.
it's always
Love it.
to see like who's going to be there, and then we just take conversations from there.
Espérame. Ajá.
Yeah. So it's kind of like whatever goes.
That's awesome. So since we have probably a portion of our audience from WISE and a portion from Xena, I think it would be awesome if you could share a little bit about WISE and your amazing group and what you do and how you support women in safety. And then I can share briefly how I started Xena, and then we can open it up for questions.
Awesome. Yeah, I wore my WISE shirt today. So I should find the link and put it in the chat for our WISE store that we have. We have like an official WISE store and then an unofficial WISE store that has some different stuff in it. So
cool.
I can share that. But this is a nice polo. I like it. I just don't go anywhere anymore, so no reason to wear it. So anyway, yeah, WISE, Women in Safety Excellence. It used to be Women in Safety Engineering, which feels so long ago that was what we were called. ASSE changed to ASSP, the P is for professionals, 2 years ago, I think is when they officially did it. And WISE, knowing that was coming, we were like, we don't want to be WISP. So we definitely got out ahead of that before any other common interest group in ASSP. Also the WISE group, Blacks in Safety Engineering at the time, they were also kicking around like, what do we do? We're not going to be BISP. So it was between the two groups that we were like, let's make it excellence. And we agreed that it was okay for each group to use that for the E word. And I'm probably botching that story because I forget like which came first. But either way, both WISE and BISE went with the E for excellence. So WISE isn't just for women. We have lots of men that are in the group. Actually, when I went through the roster last year and just went by names, and I know you can't really go by what someone's name is because sometimes the name doesn't necessarily indicate the gender properly, or people identify however they want to identify also. So I just did like my count of just like first impression, look at the names, and came up with, we had just over 200 male sounding names that were on our membership roster. So that was significant. That surprised me. So we have what we call the WISE guys. I mean, it's unofficial, but if anyone ever is like, you know, I'm a guy, but I'm in WISE, and they want to be like, hey, I'm here. Because usually the guys are kind of like quieter, and which is great. Like they get it, but show support in other ways. So WISE is all about supporting women safety professionals, but what comes out of a lot of our discussions is how do we support women in our fields? And so I've felt that, yes, you know, women in safety, we do have some challenges still. And that's why we focus on leadership opportunities and ways that women can advance their safety career. And so we have a super strong mentoring program that if you haven't been a part of it, like I've been a part of it, I think, yeah, Allison, you too. It's awesome. Like whether as a mentor or a mentee, it's a really great program that WISE has. And WISE is the model group within ASSP for mentoring. I mean, we've had, I think, over 500 people have gone through the mentoring program as mentors and mentees. So like cut it in half and you have like that many pairs, but we're not going to cut it in half because all the people participated. So over 500 people have been through the mentoring program. So that's amazing. Other common interest groups and practice specialties and chapters within ASSP, like they try to do what we're doing, but it's tough to replicate because Louise Valley does such an amazing job, and she has a crew of volunteers that help with her as well. So there's more to come on mentoring. It's not just virtual, but she's actually trying to match people, and this is pre-COVID, she's trying to match people that are in the same area so that they could actually meet in person. Because usually mentoring is like a phone call, a web meeting, stuff like that. There's so much more about WISE. When I think about WISE, though, I think about that advocacy for women in safety, women in our fields, and mentoring as the big thing. The other thing is chapter WISE, which WISE and other common interest groups, they're virtual groups or virtual communities per ASSP. And WISE, people just wanted to get involved, like they wanted more. So they started to pop up these groups within their chapter and call it WISE. And I don't know the history. I don't know which group was the first chapter WISE group, but there's a lot. I think there's over 30, maybe even over 50 chapter WISE groups throughout the world. Actually, it's not just throughout the US because ASSP is global. So pretty cool how like WISE is a virtual community per ASSP, but then we have this thriving network of groups that get together in person, just like organically, which is awesome.
Yeah, can you share a bit more about how often you meet in person? I met you at the WISE, at the ASSP conference in New Orleans, where you had a special like WISE program and a safety PPE show and a lot of amazing programming with great speakers. How often do you organize it, and do you know when this will be back?
When do we get to see each other again?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually it's the time of year that we're gearing up for the annual conference where we have the WISE Lounge, which for me personally, that's how I learned about WISE, is that I just saw this like sign in the hallway at the conference in 2014, which I think was in San Antonio, I forget now. Maybe Atlanta. When did I go? I don't remember. It doesn't seem that long ago, but also seems like a very long time ago. But I just saw this poster in the hallway. It was like WISE, Women in Safety. And I'm like, okay. Oh, it said WISE Lounge. Keyword, WISE Lounge. I was like, a lounge? Yes. I need to get away from these people. I need to charge my cell phone. I need to like do something. So I found this WISE Lounge, and I didn't know that WISE was a community within ASSP. So just going there in person, and that's actually a lot of people's stories, is that they learn about WISE at the annual conference. So I think since then, we've tried to make sure that people understand about WISE without having to be there, in person, because it is a virtual community. But the annual conference is usually our biggest like touch with people, because we have our own lounge. We do programming for all 3 of the full days of the conference, and that includes our fashion show. We usually have like educational sessions in the lounge as well. Our awards program is another big deal. Chapter WISE groups can submit for awards to be recognized. We recognize our WISE Professional Education Grant recipient, and our WISE SPY, Safety Professional of the Year, and also Mentoring Excellence. Louise always recognizes people for mentoring excellence. So, and the fashion show. Anna mentioned the fashion show. I hope I mentioned the fashion show too. That's like
fun.
the biggest, craziest event in there. So, but overall, like the lounge is for stuff like this, where like if we were at the ASSP conference in person right now, we would be the early birds that showed up for coffee and snacks until we ran out, or breakfast burritos like I usually order. And we just hang out, and then we just meet, and it's like we're friends now. So so that's how WISE stuff usually happens. Talking to people in person too gets people to understand more about the chapter WISE structure and the different things that we have available within just WISE. And then we're kind of like the guide for people, for WISE members, to other things within the ASSP structure. So there's a lot of things through like the full society that that people just aren't aware of. If you're just a general kind of engaged member, kind of paying attention to the emails once in a while, you miss a lot. So WISE tries to make sure, especially for like the women aspect, that we tell our members like, hey, there's these award programs, or hey, there's this education grant program, like do this stuff. This is available to you. So that's been one of my favorite things about being involved with WISE, is just letting people know like your membership gets you all this stuff. So take advantage of it, because it's really good for your career.
Yeah, what I've seen so far about your group, it's not just professional safety professionals coming together and advancing their careers. Like you have friends who meet each other on a regular basis, and you're so supportive, and it's a great group to get advice in different areas, and people can always reach out to you. I love that.
Yeah, and I've learned that like firsthand from being the assistant administrator. So I was voted in as the assistant administrator 4 years ago. So that's a 2-year term, and then you automatically grow into the administrator position. And so I've learned that like people that are a part of WISE, like they are not shy about just reaching out. Like I'm going to reach out to Abby and ask her, you know, how do I find my chapter WISE group? And I'm like, I will tell you. So, you know, I respond. I'm like a big fan of WISE. I love what people are up to. The advisory committee works super hard. You can learn about, so go to ASSP.org/WISE, and you scroll down about like halfway and you can see the list of all the advisory committee members. And those are the people that are like leading everything that WISE does. And we meet every month. We have a phone call each month. And we do more, of course, than what other common interest groups and practice specialties do, or what we're even required to do. Of course, because WISE is very extra that way. But it's what we need, like, to keep things moving along. So we have a lot of structure, but there's also that means there's a lot of opportunity for people if they want to get involved with volunteering, but not have to be like that person that's in charge. There's a place for you. So let me know.
Awesome. Very cool.
But
Love
we
it.
met Anna last year. She, so what happened with Anna and Xena Boots, and I don't know if everybody here is already like a big fan, but there was like 1 week or a few days. That's out of my house. It has been like that around my house, but it's quiet. There was like a week or a few days time back in, it would have been like last March, April timeframe, or maybe even later, where people were tagging me in all these social media posts and like emailing this stuff about these Xena boots. And I was like, what is this? And I look and I was like, oh my God, these are boots like what I would just wear. And they were steel toe. And I thought, holy crap, that's amazing. I have to meet this person, because when I find out about like stuff that's geared towards women in the workplace, I'm like, I'm just going to go talk to them and, you know, see, can they do something with WISE? Because WISE kind of gives you this platform, or like our membership is, I think we have 2,300 people. So I can say, I lead WISE, a group of 2,300 women that work in safety. And it's like, ooh, okay. Instead of just me like, hey, I'm Abby, your boots look cool. Like someone like Anna will take my call. So a bunch of people kept sending me these pictures of these boots. I'm like, yeah, I see them. I got it. Of course I'm on top of this. So I reached out to Anna and was like, hey, we have a fashion show in June. Like, could we have some boots? And I didn't realize that it was so new. And Anna came to the fashion show. She had prototypes, like the first ever like Xena boots. We practically like ripped them off of her feet to try them on, and then people ripped them off of my feet to try them on. So yeah, I don't know, maybe from your perspective, Anna, like how, like about like coming into like the WISE fold, and just being like a woman business owner, entrepreneur.
Yeah, I can share briefly. By the way, how much time do we have left? I want to make sure that we'll have.
We have 20 minutes because I have the free Zoom account.
Okay, good. Awesome. I'll share how I started the company. First of all, I never planned to make shoes. Like it was never kind of my goal growing up and going to school. Like, I will be making safety shoes one day. But what happened was I studied international project engineering in Germany. And because it was international, I had to go abroad and get experience internationally, came to the US and loved working in the Midwest at a steel cutting tool company. And after I finished my degree, that was the first time that I had a terrible experience with safety shoes. And then when I finished my degree, I started working as a project management consultant, leading multi-million-dollar projects in a room with 20 seasoned male engineers, and I had to dress professionally. It was almost part of my contract. When you work with a client, you show up, you dress professionally, you lead incredibly important projects. And I always thought, how the hell am I supposed to dress professionally, but also wear those clunky safety boots. I had 2 pairs of terrible shoes under my desk at all times, because every time, and most of you are probably very familiar with the scenario where you're in the meeting, and then as soon as the meeting wraps up, people say, all right, let's go out on the shop floor, let's go to the job site to check on that project. And I was always the one saying, wait guys, like I have to run back to my desk and put on my boots. So I would run back, put on my clunky, heavy boots that never fit right. So one pair was too small, was squeezing my feet. The other one was way too loose. They were probably men's boots that were just smaller. And I always felt like a clown, and thought that this was a safety hazard, walking upstairs, up and down, and just walking on the shop floor instead of just wearing my regular boots. And after talking to a lot of women in my office, and I have many engineering friends in Germany, and everyone complained about the same problem, how it is impossible as a woman to dress professionally and also adhere to all the safety standards and be safe and professional. And at some point I thought, okay, this can't be rocket science. I want to figure out the boot, design a safety shoe that has all the necessary ESCM certifications and allows you to be yourself, express your personality. It's already difficult enough for a woman to fit into a male-dominated environment. And if you don't feel your best, if you don't feel confident, this is really not helping. We all know what you wear has a huge impact on your confidence, performance, and how you enjoy your work. So about a year ago, we launched Xena with just one design of safety shoes in 2 colors. And since then received a lot of amazing feedback from women. I met Abby at the Wise show.
Wow.
And I think we brought prototypes that didn't even have the labels in them yet at that point. That was very early. But since then, we received so many requests for additional safety shoe certifications, clothing. So our goal is to listen to women's needs, and we'll keep developing safety shoes based on what women need. I can show you.
Too, I was going to say about like the male, well, I say male populated instead of male dominated, because like we dominate it. So, but I was thinking too, like, it's great to have like the work boots that that kind of like fit with what you would wear anyway. But like I got pushback from people. They were like, those aren't safety, those aren't compliant. And so the first boots that I got, the gravity ones, they came with this card, which I thought was brilliant, that it actually like showed, and you probably can't even read this, but it just shows like, I could pull up my card and be like, yeah, my boots actually meet this stuff. So there, and it has the standards, the ASTM, D471, hello, for chemical resistant. Like you can spout off all this stuff for people. The impact compression resistant, it has the steel toe factors on there. So I ordered I have the Omega boots too, but I didn't get the card this time. So I don't know. Are you still doing these?
Oh,
cards?
interesting.
That might be nice to get those.
Okay, I will send it to you.
Yeah.
Just to show you guys very quick, like this is the model that we launched with in black and cognac brown. It's slip resistant, has a steel toe cap, is chemical resistant, and then based on women's requests, we designed the second model that has a lower heel, ankle coverage was important, and an electric hazard certification. And the next huge challenge that we started working with is a more stylish metatarsal boot. So it will take some time to develop, but this is the challenge that we accepted for this year regarding boots.
That's cool.
And we can, I would love to learn about your experiences. Maybe can we do a quick introduction round if everyone can say their name and kind of what field they work in before we launch it into questions. I would love to learn more about your experiences and different needs for safety shoes, and maybe it's clothing if it's FR, more comfortable pants, blazers, whatever that might be, jackets.
I'll go, let's see, I'll just read from my screen. So Kate, you want to go first?
Hey everyone, I'm Kate Jens. I'm a project engineer for a general contractor, and right now we do primarily retail hospitality, but we're expanding into the industrial and manufacturing sector now. So I've been in the industry for about 4 years now. I started off at a roofing contractor and estimating, so I've definitely worked through the different divisions. And I just got my first pair of Omegas on Friday, I believe. They shipped super quickly, but I wore them yesterday and the day before, but I have a lunch meeting today, so I have some different boots on. But they're amazing and super comfortable
Awesome.
so far.
What color did you get?
I got the brown because I do usually go for more of like a vintagey brown leather look, so that
Oh,
those
cool.
fit perfect for my wardrobe.
Awesome.
Super cool.
Nice to meet you in person.
Allison.
This is
Yeah,
virtually,
meeting
but
each
it's
other.
so nice to see faces.
Virtually in person.
Virtually in person.
Allison, you're next on my screen.
All right, cool. So I'm Allison Short. I am a safety advisor for Power Secure, which is an arm of the Southern Company. And I work with mainly our service division, which is a bunch of field engineers doing service and maintenance on generators. So lots of interesting different sites, different terrain, very regularly traveling where I have to do a presentation in person to office personnel, and then walk outside with a tech and go to 8 different oil rigs and refinery. You know, it's all everything that so I actually have the initial gravity boot as well. And all of I wore them to teach the other day, and all of my like office personnel that have nothing to do with safety never go out in the field. They're like, can I have those? Where did you get those? You know, they're like, can we buy these just to wear as our shoes? Because they love them so much. So it's certainly, you know, they're very, very popular at the office anytime I wear them. So yeah, I certainly enjoy them.
That's awesome. Yeah, your name like looks so familiar. I'm like, I know I've seen this name before.
Yeah, good to meet virtually.
Nice to meet you virtually. Thanks for sharing.
Monica, you're next on my screen.
Well, I'm a quality manager at a foundry in Mexico. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Well, I love the shoes actually. I got the Gravities over in December. I actually flew over to the States and ordered them there so I would get them faster, and I'm obsessed with them. Especially because before working in the foundry, I actually worked in fashion, and I trained in fashion, worked in fashion for 8 years. So I was like, I hated all the shoes all the time. And I always kept thinking, oh, somebody should make pretty shoes, or I'm going to have to do it at some point. So I was ecstatic when I found Xena's, and I want to order the Omegas now, sometime soon, hopefully. But yeah, I'm so happy to get actually beautiful stuff, especially having that background in fashion. I always get so depressed with everything being so ugly all the time.
It will change step by step. There are so many amazing companies that manufacture women's work clothing and PPE. So we will change it in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Nice to meet you.
It's getting better. Oh man, someone left the screen and it messed up my thing, and now I don't know who left. What the heck? Stephanie, I see you.
Okay. Well, I'm Stephanie. I've been in the industry almost 8 years now, and I work at Newport News Shipbuilding, and we are the nation's supplier of nuclear-powered aircraft carriers and one of the 2 of nuclear-powered submarines for the United States Navy. So we do, as you imagine, heavy manufacturing. So the first 6.5, 7 years of my career up until this past summer was aircraft carrier construction, which is walking on sheet metal all day, dealing with everything from welders to painters, pipe fitters, sheet metal mechanics. So we're out and about in the field, and now I'm working in shops, which is pipe shops and machine shops, and biggest one is the steel brass foundry is the big area I work in now. But I remember seeing you at the the PPE fashion show last year, and I saw Abby had the shoes on, and I was like, man, those look so cool. But I haven't gotten a pair yet, but I'm really thinking about now. I figured it was probably better not to get a new pair of shoes when I was pregnant and my feet were swelling while trying to be in the field. But the biggest thing of our company, with 20,000 employees on site, it's a big company, but females are starting to be on the waterfront doing craftsman work. It's starting to become a very big thing, and the hardest part is finding PPE that fits correctly. And I've gotten to try some of the welding and some of the stuff they do, and I could tell you we could, as an industry, we could do better for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm curious to hear more about the shoes, because also for me, like, I was like, it'd be nice to have cute shoes when I'm out walking around that are actually compliant.
And I remember you talking about the.
Oh,
go ahead.
In heavy manufacturing, you said there's a lot of heavy steel. Are you required to wear metatarsals at all? Or
For the particular
toe
stuff,
cap is enough?
For the particular stuff, I do not so much, but we have other employees, depending on their job operations, we advise them to wear metatarsals, because we've had injuries where employees have dropped plates on their foot.
Oh.
So it's definitely becoming more prevalent, unfortunately.
I was just going to say, Stephanie was part of a conversation with something else that debuted at the fashion show last year, which was the underwear, the FR undergarments, like the sports bra tops, and also like actual undies that are FR. So that was another company that startup company that debuted last year at our fashion show. So we break the new stuff there. Kristen, cool. You're next on my screen.
Hi, I'm Kristen Mimi. I am the corporate safety coordinator for CompuLink and ComDesign. CompuLink manufactures wired assemblies, and we do some work for the DoD. So we make the wired connection from the ear down to the radio itself. So not heavy manufacturing. Safety shoe isn't required there. But the other side, ComDesign, we do install cable in new and existing construction, so definitely would need some safety shoes there, and definitely looking at getting the black zip ups, saving up for them, so hopefully I can get those soon, and hearing all about it has just like made me more excited about it. So, yeah.
Good to meet you.
You too.
Awesome. And then Shantae, you're the last one on my screen.
Shantae Webster. I am in Richmond, Virginia, currently EHS advisor for the Federal Reserve Bank in Richmond, Baltimore, Charlotte, and then previously before that.
I don't know if it's just for me, but the sound just broke off a little bit.
Oh, it did? How about, let's try this.
Say it again.
I'll take the headphones off.
Oh, good. We can hear you.
Federal Reserve Bank, Richmond, Charlotte, Baltimore. Been in EHS for the last 16 or 17 years. Most of that time was in the amusement park industry in Virginia, and then also in Minnesota. So that's actually how I met Abby, and then found out about the shoes through her posts on LinkedIn and/or Instagram. So really excited about that, because I have huge feet and usually have to wear men's shoes. And certainly in the past, it's been a swap of shoes throughout the day, depending on what's going on. If I need to go walk or work site, I would just go back to my office, change shoes, and then go out. So looking forward to it.
I used to call it like my Mr. Rogers time, like changing my shoes, like out the back of the car or something.
Nice to meet you, Shanti. So do you usually order wide safety shoes? That's something that we have to add to our development list.
Yeah, the width is sometimes hit or miss, but definitely the length. So we're in 11, typically, and then depending on the shoe, may have to size up. So it's just really depends on the brand.
Okay. Yeah, that is also something we started with. We launched with sizes 5 through 11, then received so many requests for a size 12, developed a size 12, and then a few women kept emailing us and saying, please make it 13. So we now go up to size 13.
Oh, that's great.
At least for the gravity. So try to develop them one by one based on needs. Nice to meet everyone.
Once in a while, there's a conversation in the YS Facebook group about like really small work boots. So that's come up as well. Like like I didn't even know that people could have that small of feet and still walk around, but they can, under size 5. So we were trying to source information on really small shoes too, which is interesting.
It is, yeah. And we receive requests. There are different communities, and we have a large Hmong community in northern Wisconsin, and they tend to have smaller feet and ask requests to design as size 4 that we added to our list, but that has not been completed yet.
That's really cool. Similar community here in Minneapolis also at some electronics manufacturers, places like that. So that would be interesting to bring them something. Okay, so Zoom's giving me the countdown. We're under 4 minutes. So maybe, does anyone have like a random question for Anna as our guest?
Or Abby?
Or for me. Yeah, lightning round. What? No questions?
Maybe
exciting that, you know, you can give us a little sneak peek of some latest what you're developing.
Yeah, maybe I can show you, ladies, very quickly our latest prototype of the blazer. The blazers have been a challenge. So our goal was to design functional blazers for women who constantly walk between a conference room and a shop floor, and we have to carry all this stuff with us, like safety glasses, earplugs, your phone, small notebook. So we received the prototype late last week that I'm wearing right now. Maybe let me show you this. Super cool. I'm excited. So we have 2 external pockets. They're nice loops for your pens. Then we have here a pocket where you can put in your safety glasses. You'll have a loop for your company badge, and I plan to attach a little piece of fabric that you can use to clean your safety glasses. They're internal pockets with a zipper where you can secure your jewelry. So at my facility, we're not allowed to wear rings on the shop floor, and I never knew where to put them. So you can hook them in and put them in a pocket with a zipper. And yeah, and the cool thing is they will be machine washable and wrinkle resistant, because like sometimes you're in a nice office but then go out on a dusty, dirty shop floor construction site. So it's nice to have something that you can throw into a washing machine. Very excited.
That's
Don't
really
have
cool.
a timeline when they will be released, but this prototype is very close to being done.
That's awesome.
Really exciting. All those pockets. I'm so excited.
The ring thing too, because I always like do some sketchy like thing with where I stash it. Don't tell anybody. Where it's like, I think it's secure. So that's.
Yeah, and then you're distracted by it because you're like, is it?
Like you keep your hand in your pocket the whole time. Yeah. Super cool.
Awesome.
Well,
it was so nice meeting everyone. Abby, thank you so much for scheduling it and hosting it today.
For sure.
Super exciting. We might do this in the future again for the other women who couldn't join today.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks everybody. This is the first time my Zoom meeting isn't going to get like cut off awkwardly. So yay. Have an awesome day.
Nice meeting everyone, and enjoy your day. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.